What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's JP to the one and only. Yeah, one and only, baby. I mean, make sure we live everywhere we need to be live. Look like we good. Let me check the volume, video, everything like that. Let me check the volume. Oh, connection good. My internet is live and direct. Was acting a little shaky. That's why I'm going a little late. I wanted to make sure the connection was good. It's nothing worse than doing one of these things and then looking up and realizing that the volume wasn't where it's supposed to be, or you do something like this and realize that the internet connection was trash, so you don't end up with the best quality product. I don't do this to say that I did it. I do this because I feel like it's needed. And I try not to go live on here until it's something that I'm passionate about. And this is something that I'm very passionate about. And today was the day I felt like this live was needed. Okay. I don't wait for people to come on here because the way that my system is set up, I get a little bit of love on this, and then I get a lot more love on the clips that I share on social media. So I do this for the people that want to tap in, and then I make sure that the content is repurposed for reels and things like that. So today was a very crazy day for me. Actually, the past like 90 days has been kind of crazy, and it's been a test to my will and my drive. It's not that things haven't worked out for me. It's just that little things come, and it's like, dude, you making so much motion, and then it'll be a little something that kind of like I wouldn't say it set me back, but it just don't work out as planned. So something that I may feel like take a three of my energy, it may end up taking a seven or eight. And sometimes that could be in a way when you are somebody like me that's pushing it to the limit. So the problem with pushing it to the limit is that I can overexert myself. And a lot of times I crash, and my crashes have become a little more familiar to the people around me, and they know when I say I crash. Like if my sister like reach out to me and she don't hear from me for a few hours during the day, she know I crash. I don't necessarily take naps with any type of regularity, but it's days where everything catches up to me and I crash. And sometimes I even miss appointments from these crashes to where I got to come and apologize and things like that. But it's kind of became my normal. I wouldn't say that it's the most healthiest thing, but it's kind of became my normal. It's just the way that I work. I work until I crash. Like even right now, I get up early in the morning. I'm up at 10 o'clock on live because I crashed throughout the day and I got a little bit of energy and I felt like why not use this energy to create some type of content. So I came on here, and before I came on here, I was on YouTube and um, a Zoom call, a couple other things like that. And most of it was like coaching calls and things that lend to like the same type of thing. I'm gonna post about one of those Zooms a little later, but it was with one of these gurus that I had did a little research on before I joined a program or gave them any type of attention. And they were like a scam. So I'll make a post about that later. But throughout the day, I even since early this morning before I crashed, I've ran across some content that was about changing your mindset. And that particular content, it touched me a certain way because of the way that I changed my mindset. And a lot of times people hear me say that and they don't understand the severity of it, because changing your mindset is the key to changing everything in your life. So anybody that's familiar with me and my history, my life, whatever, they know that I've been through a lot in my life. When I say a lot, I basically summarize it the same way every time because it's the fastest way to summarize how my life has been. So I've been through foster homes, boys' homes, juveniles, state prison, federal prison. If you understand what all of that means, I was born to a drug addicted father, alcoholic mother. My dad died when I was 5 months. My mom was pregnant with my little brother. We are only nine, well, we're about 10 months apart, a little more than 10 months apart. The the way that I started wasn't the way that I wanted to end. And I didn't understand that before. I thought I could do it doing illegal things because I wouldn't say I've never seen it done legally, but I've never had anybody do it legally and explain to me that I could do it. You know, it was never that close to me that, hey, you can do this if you put your mind to it. If that makes any sense, I was at arm's reach of a certain type of person. So that was the person that I looked up to, if that makes more sense. When we are in a certain place in our life, we feel like what's understood shouldn't have to be explained. But I do these types of things and I go out and speak to the youth. And sometimes I speak to people that's my age or maybe a little older than me. But I definitely speak to the youth because just because they see me doing it, they may not understand what it took for me to get to the place that I am. And when I say the place that I am doing okay financially. But when I say the place that I am, I'm talking about mentally. That's a different concept, right? It's people that you are watching, and those people may be doing okay financially, but mentally you are watching these people crash out, and that crash out looks different for everybody. There is no universal crash out. And I tell everybody this: you can't gauge a person's reaction, and you really can't gauge a person's crash out. So when I say where I am, I'm not trying to say that, and I am very okay with where I am financially. So I don't want to like make light of that because that's definitely a part of it. And that's definitely some of my contentment, right? Because it's hard to be content when you can't pay your rent, right? It's hard to be content. It's hard to be content when all your money's spent, right? So I don't want to sound like that's not a factor. My bills being paid and me not being in any type of heavy financial debt or feeling like I'm under some financial burden, it's part of the reason that my mind is clear. It's not all of the reason, but it's part of the reason. You have to get over that hump for your mind to be clear. If I didn't know how I was going to pay my phone bill, it would be hard for me to be on this live and making content to share on social media. And I don't know how I'm going to pay my phone bill. And the way my phone bill is set up, my whole family's phone is connected to my phone bill. So my kids love their phone. I just had to make Cash get off of his to get in the shower because he stayed with his face in his phone. The internet is something that I pay for. Everything is being paid for by me making sure that my mind is clear and I'm able to make money. And it goes back around to me having my mind clear and me being able to make money and me being content with the fact that money is being made and bills are being paid. So I do not want to minimize the fact that I am okay financially. I don't want to minimize that because if you are not okay financially, it could stress you out. And it's hard to be in the right place mentally and you're stressed out. Stress is somewhat mental and it's somewhat emotional, which means it's a little bit out of your control. You can be stressed out and you can be strong mentally and not understand why you're under so much pressure and not understand why you're so stressed out. So I want to elaborate on what I mean by how I got to where I am mentally. The people that have watched me grow understand what I say where I am, because I get complimented so much on my growth. And sometimes the people that watch me on social media don't understand what that means. It's not because people are watching me grow a business. People watch me grow a record label and do the same thing with music. When people talk about my growth, they talk about me being able to do things without crashing out, because people have watched me crash out online. People have watched me crash out in real life. It's certain people that watch me do music and do videos and do things like that. They've watched me crash out, and they only know me technically professionally, but I was a professional crash out. Everything bothered me. I responded to everything, and I was petty. And my pettiness was very entertaining, but it was very counterproductive, and it may have ran some people off. So when I say how I got to where I am, it means, although I am doing okay financially, I'm only saying that to make sure that I'm not minimizing the financial part, because that is so important. It is important that you make money. I never want people to say, well, I quit my job because it was stressing me out mentally, but now you can't keep a roof over your head or over your children's head. So don't ever minimize money. I don't care what's your philosophy on money. There is importance in money. And money to me is not something that I use to flash in people's face. It's not something that I use to um, make myself feel important or to make other people feel less than. Money is a tool. I know that I have to make money because I have a whole family that depend on me. And um, my lady does have her own business, but it's my job to take care of the house, right? I'm not going to get into the whole 50-50 and all that dumb conversation. That's not a conversation that I like to have. But I make this introduction to get to the point of the mindset. So when people compliment me on my growth, I don't take it lightly, because I didn't go about it lightly. I didn't go about changing my mind lightly. I didn't go about it halfway. I didn't go about it in a way of, well, if it work out, it work out. If it don't, it don't. Because my stakes were higher. If you've been in the streets most of your life, then you understand what I mean when I say the stakes are higher. Some people could lose their job and they can go work at Walmart, and they will feel like, okay, I'm going to work at Walmart until I find something else. With me and my stakes being higher, my stakes, my low wasn't Walmart. My low could get me life in prison or could wind me in an early grave, right? So when I say my stakes were higher, my stakes were higher. So I went into changing my mindset knowing that it was life or death. And at the point that I changed my mindset, it wasn't just life or death for me. It was also life or death for the little lives that depended on me. I was incarcerated with a guy that I worked out with. And one day he came and he just sat down on the bench. And this was a guy that usually had a lot of energy. And he was like drifting off. And I was like, bro, you all right? And he said, man, not really. And most of us don't ask that question with the intent of somebody actually like dropping a load on their shoulder. But I did. I asked because this was so out of this person's character that it was a cause for alarm for me. Because when I tell you this guy, he come to work out, even, and I always work out in the morning. Anybody that know me know I work out real early, like one of the first times the weight pit was open. And he usually come up pumped. He got his music on, and you know, you feel his energy. He ready to go. He not one of the guys you got to talk to come on, man, we waiting on you. It's your set. He like one of the guys that, come on, man, we out here. And this day he wasn't like that. This day he was like in a trance almost. And I'm like, bro, you good? And he was like, no. And he explained to me that his son had just got life in prison the day before. And I'm not gonna say his name, but it was like, dang. And all I thought about was my sons, right? And I was like, dang, and he blamed himself. I wouldn't say it was all his fault, but this was like his sixth or seventh time being incarcerated. And basically he had been in and out of prison his son's life, the entirety of his son's life, which was about 20 to 21 years at the time. So his 20 year old, I believe, had just got life in prison the day before. And it was like, man, how would I take this with my heart, knowing that I've missed so much of his life with me being selfish and doing things that did not contribute to his upbringing, did not contribute to him becoming a pillar in society, because I was being selfish. When you hear a lot of people that's from the streets talk, and they say I had to feed my family, they don't even understand how selfish that statement is. Because if the goal was just to feed your family, then you would do something legal to make sure your family ate, because at some point doing something illegal is going to stop. Either the play fall out, either you go to jail, or you end up dead. And for you to say I had to feed my family and use that as an excuse is crazy to me. And that's maybe a pre-25 excuse. Maybe a pre-25. If you 23, 22 and you gave me that excuse, I may have a conversation with you. If you 35, 40, 45, and 50 and you give me that excuse, this conversation is something totally different. If it's a conversation at all, because I may feel like you a dumb old fool, right? And I know that you're going to give me some type of pushback because you stuck in your ways. But for me, at 32, I believe I was at the time, and 33 and 34, my change was all or nothing. It was not something that I could go into halfway. I have went into some other things halfway, figured it out, and then got comfortable, and then went all in. And I've went into some other things halfway and figured that it just wasn't for me, and I got on about my business. But with me changing my mindset, with me changing the way I go about things, with me changing how I handle me in my life and my priorities, it was not something that I could compromise on. So when I went back, because I had did a state bit, I went back and I did this Fed time. People would tell you I still hustled a little bit. I still played a little ball here and there. I worked out regularly, but for the most part, I stayed in my books, because this was not something that I could lose at. Me changing my life was something that I had to do, because it was important that if anything were to happen to my children and they were to get in trouble, or they were to find themselves not quite what I would want them to be, I did not want that to be any fault of mine. If my daughter wound up pregnant at 14, 15, 16, 17, that was something that would be on my shoulders because I wasn't there. If my sons wound up in the streets and in jail, or worse, at 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, I had to be honest with myself and say that would be something that I just couldn't handle mentally. So in my place, I had to make sure I gave my change everything I had, because my stakes were way higher. It was all or nothing. It was like, this is all you can do unless you don't care. And at that point, I had to say, me saying I don't care, it doesn't mean that I don't care about me. It means I don't care about anything that I gave life to. Anything with my last name, anything that call me dad, anything that depends on me. So when I hear people say, I had to feed my family, I don't know where they heard it from, and I don't care. I know that you are in a certain mindset that a conversation with me probably won't change. But once you change that mindset and you come back and speak to me, then we can talk about the next steps. because it's a journey. It is not I changed my life, I'm good. Every day I wake up and I know that I'm doing the right thing. But there's been times where my phone may ring and it's other stuff that could take me away from what I'm doing. Those were the times I had to be strong. Those were the times where I had to think about what was really important to me. Because when I first came home, it wasn't like I'm doing as good as I'm doing now. I was doing okay, but I was in school and that was taking a lot of my time. Now I can give more time to my business. I make more money, and I'm a little more successful because I've been doing it longer and I've made some adjustments to get to this point. But in the beginning, some of those phone calls were hard to turn down. Some because it's quick money. But in turning them down, I realized just how much I really grown. And I grown a lot. So a lot of people talk about getting to the next level when they say, well, all I got to do is find the right plug. I just got to find the right woman. I just got to find the right this. And I tell everybody, if you are not finding something that you need, it's because your mind is not attracting that. You are thinking in a place of lack. When you think in lack, you get lack. Whatever you think about, you get more of it. So a lot of this is things that you have to uh, take full accountability for and say, okay, I'm not getting what I want. This is what I need to do. Because you may feel like, oh, they're not responding to me the way I want them to, or the women are not giving me the attention that I want them to give me, or vice versa. And you say, well, I don't know what's wrong with these people. And I hear people say it's piss in the dating pool and blah, blah, blah. No, you are attracting exactly what you are putting out. So if you go back within and you say, okay, what am I doing that's causing these people to be attracted to me? And these are not the people that I want in my life. These are not the people that I want to deal with. These are not the phone calls that I want to take every day. Why are these people constantly reaching out to me? Why are these phone calls still coming through to me? The reason is because this is what you're attracting. When you think about where you are in your life or in your business, in your relationship, or anywhere else, at some point you did something to cause that position to be that position. At some point you said no where you should have said yes. At some point you stopped being disciplined. At some point you stopped listening to your mentors or your role models or anybody else. At some point you lost your way. I hear people say, well, this is all I know. Well, this is that. And this is, listen, if you spend your entire day talking to people that only talk to you about lack, they only talk to you about what they don't have, what they can't do, what they wish they could do. They only gossip with you. They only talk to you about everybody else's business. They're always talking about what they are not able to do because of somebody else holding them back, or somebody else not doing for them, or somebody else not giving them a hand and lifting them up, or whatever else. If you are still taking those phone calls, if you are still extending invitations to people who are not moving in the same direction you're moving in, and then you wonder what's holding you back, you can do all of the best in your own actions as you can do. But if you are not having the right conversations with the right people, then that's holding you back. Let's say you were looking for a job and you've been looking for this job for 3 months. You had a little savings and the savings going to hell. You have 4 or 5 friends that you confer with and they know that you are in this position. You have 3 of these friends who say, oh, you're going to be okay. But every time they call you is with gossip and negativity. And you entertain these friends. And between these 3 friends, y'all talk for hours on the phone. But you have this one friend. This one friend is actually keeping an eye out. They may not be seeking jobs for you, but they may know a few people that could actually get you a job. And they send you links or phone numbers or contact information for you to get in contact with somebody to actually help you. But between these three friends that you sit on the phone with, gossiping, bad mouthing everybody else, talking about a whole bunch of nothing, that fourth friend could barely get through to you. Y'all see where I'm going. What can you do? Right? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that that friend that actually is in the position and willing to help you? Because I want to make that clear. You may have friends in certain positions, but they may not be willing to help you. And those are not your friends. Unless you are a person that has proven to be high risk, if your friends are in positions and they are not willing to help you, they are not your friends. When I say help, I don't mean just throw money at you. When I say help, I mean if they are not willing to give you contact information for somebody that could get you a job where it may not be the best job. It may not be the job that you particularly want, but it will help keep a roof over your head. So you have to get in the mindset that you are in total control of your life. Once you get in the mindset that everything you are or every place that you are, if you are not where you want to be, is because of you, then you start to map out your life in a different way. You start to take accountability a little different, and then you start to put the pieces where they're supposed to go, because you understand that life is your game to play. If you feel like everything is a response, everything that happens to you is a response, then you're always responding. And this is terrible because you feel like everything is out of your control. So you go on throughout your entire life feeling like you have no control over it. So you are taking those phone calls from those three friends, and you are constantly finding yourself in the middle of gossip, backbiting, negativity, all of this BS. And then you are still in the position or in a worse position because time waits for nobody and bills don't wait for you. So you can keep BSing and look up and you 3 months behind on your rent instead of one, because you are still fielding these phone calls from these three friends that mean you no good, but you feel like, oh, we grew up together. These are my friends since kindergarten. And it could be vice versa. If you have friends that you are not willing to extend a hand to because they have already shown you that they are not dependable, then maybe you need to get new friends. Either way, it's time for you to get new friends. If your friends cannot be called upon, then what are they there for? And it doesn't just mean monetarily, although sometimes it may mean monetarily. I've had friends that I've had to call, or uh, when I was incarcerated, I had to have Lily call friends before and say, hey, I need something, or can you do something? Whatever it was. It could be a ride. She may have been stuck at work, whatever. It could be anything. But I had friends that were willing to do that. I had kids and I had friends that were willing to go and buy clothes and shoes for the kids and drop it off to Lily. I've had friends that were willing to do things for me that I didn't even realize that they were willing to do. Shout out to Kid, the producer, Sincere, Jeter, Doc, all my friends. My brother Rob, he did come through. Me and him up and down, we beef a little bit, but he has came through for the kids before. And it's been other people, my dude Hams, my guy, man, it's been a few guys. I got a couple guys, my guy Future, my guy Sammy. Like, it was guys that I could depend on, and they would reach out, like even reach out to her, you okay? You know what I'm saying? I got something for the kids or whatever. And those are my friends. Those are still my friends. I've fallen out with certain people because maybe I thought they should have been a little closer to the situation and they weren't. And I was okay with it. One particular friend, he may not even see this video, but one particular friend, I actually blocked him when I came home because I looked at his social media and he was saying free JP, but he never reached out to my lady and offered her anything of assistance. I don't mean it had to be money. He could have dropped off the kids a pair of shoes, anything. And like all up and down his timeline, it was free JP, free my dog, free my dog. Shout out to my guy Nep. Everybody know I'm tight with Nep, man, but my guy Nep, when I say always came through, and Nep do home improvement and a lot of other things, but anything like Nep came and painted the house. Nep did all kind of stuff, y'all. So shout out to my guy Nep. And this ain't that type of thing, but I just wanted to show that at your lowest, your real friends are there. At your lowest, I've had friends, um, rest in peace to Ebony, Exotic. Exotic has, like, I may have like called just to check on her. She sent money. My friend Tierra, she came to see me. I'm just making sure that, people understand that I've had people that actually help me, right? I've had people that actually help me, and I don't want to take, all the credit for a lot of the things that helped me get through some of my situations. And I am big on always showing love to those people. Even since I've been home, Philip Sample, Sincere, different people like that that's helped me navigate the world of nonprofit and in dealing with these nonprofits and teaching me stuff and being willing to give me the game. Shout out to Ariana who helped me with taxes. Man, like my guy, Asim Sharp, who's helped me like I consider him my mentor, and I gotta call him. Like I haven't called him in a few weeks, but I gotta call him. But these are people that seen me doing business and was like, here you go. At a certain point, I didn't even think I could get um Ethan and Ariana was like, don't worry about it. Right? I'm just saying it's people that come in your life and they give you what you need to get to the next level or at least feel comfortable. So I do want to make sure that shout out to my guy Ty. Ty gave me a plug that I still use to this day. And shout out to I was at Ty house this weekend. Shout out to my guy Ty. And I'm just saying, like, you have to have people in your life that are willing to give you some form of assistance. And if they don't believe in you enough to give you that assistance, you need to be around different people, especially if you know that you've been the type of person that don't deserve for somebody to be trusting in you. If you've known you've not been the most trustworthy person, it may be time to get new friends so they can see a new you. If your old friends have watched you start a business, close a business, start a business, close a business, so they do not believe in you, it's time to get around new people that could breathe some new life into you, that have a whole different outlook of you, and you start with a clean slate, because having those people around you could drain you. They could have such bad energy that the people that may have wanted to use your business don't even use it, because they feel like if your friends don't support you, why should they? When I started credit repair, my sisters, cousins, everybody that had bad credit around me didn't mind giving me a shot. Now I have a cousin that's doing really good. Shout out to my cousin Shavar. And when Shavar called me, Shavar, he says, cuz, let's schedule some time. Shavar, we can talk personally, and that's fine. But when he want to talk business, Shavar say, bro, what's your schedule looking like? My apologies. He say, cuz, what's your schedule looking like? And Shavar pays me like he's not like, thank you, cuz. Tell auntie I love her. Like, he don't have that attitude. Shavar's like, okay, cuz, your cash app the same. He may take an hour of my time and send me 100, 200, whatever. But he's always like, cuz, this is what you do. And I'm only calling you because I respect what you do. These are the type of people you want around you. If you have friends around you and all they want to do is use you for whatever you can do without paying you for it, especially when they know that you can do it. If they think you can't do it, let's say you are a barber and they know you can't really cut hair, and that's fine. But if they're coming to you and they actually know that the product is good or the service is good and they are not willing to pay you, you need to get around some new people. Everything is about energy. I was at a point where I was basically throwing money out the window. I got texts, phone calls. It was people reaching out to me on social media. Hey, bro, I need some money. Hey, bro, can you do this for me? Bro, I just need this. And what kind of unsettled me was one of the guys I went to high school with that I wouldn't consider like a really close friend. We're okay. And I can say that we're just okay. He reached out to me and he asked me for money a couple times, and I did it a couple times. And I had said something to Jeter like, "Dang man, dog," and Jeter was like, "Well, what make him so comfortable, enough to ask you for money?" And I had to think about it. What was I doing that made him so comfortable to ask me for money? And this is somebody I haven't really seen since high school. This was not like a close friend. And it was because the energy, he like, bro, gonna do this. And people think that because I'm in this space mentally that they could just ask and I'm gonna be like, yeah, bro, you got it. Yeah, bro. And it was getting to the point that this was becoming so routine. And it was not just for him, it was like for other people that it was, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And I was feeling like I got it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna take away from my bills or anything. Even though I have 4 kids that I'm responsible for. I still was thinking like, well, I got it. Like, God bless me. And that's how a lot of us get mentally. Well, God bless me and God bless me. Let me explain something to you. If you continue to take care of beggars, you attract more beggars because that's how the universe works. It's just how the universe works. The universe does not work that you take care of beggars and then things open up for you. That's not how the universe works. I'm sorry. Now, if you donate to a cause and that's something that's, dear to your heart, if you lost a kid to drunk driving and you start a foundation for that, that's something else. But I'm saying for people to be beggars and for a lot of these people to have certain habits that they are not willing to get under control. And let's say they drink liquor all day and then they come and ask you and you like, here go $20. And tomorrow they ask you and you, here go $20. And the next day you hear, you are creating a monster and you are attracting an energy that's a disgusting, nasty energy, and it's not something that you're going to sustain. Even if you got $1,020 to give away, it's going to bother you that somebody is always asking you for something. People don't want to admit to that because it make them feel like a bad person. But if you are waking up and you are doing whatever you're doing, even if you're investing or whatever, you are not doing that to take care of the world. If you Bill Gates or Melinda Gates and all them, you may get to a certain point where you like, look, I got it. I want to, I want to give back. That's fine. But while you are still building, you don't want to have to stop and drag anybody to the level that you want. While you are building, you want to build with people that's going in the same direction as you. You want to build with people that are doing the same things as you. You want to build with people that have the same mindset that you have. Because while you're building, anything less than that is slowing you down. And you may feel like you're making progress. You may feel like, look, I was here and now look at it. And that's fine. But what happens when you realize that you could have been way further along had you not looked back and try? You're not going to drag these people anywhere, but you look back and you try to drag these people or you try to persuade them to go in the same direction you're going in, and they never did it. So you waste so much energy trying to get the wrong people on the boat that you never get off the dock. Let them drown. I've had people that I've done for when I didn't really have it to do it for them, but I realized they may need this more than me today, and I'm in a position to make it up. I've done for those people, and I haven't heard from some of those people in the last year and a half, 2 years, 2.5 years, whatever. And it make you realize that even though you did it from a good place, right? How somebody comment, I'm post this on here, but how to look down upon those that do choose Jesus. For example, they play A-OK. I don't know what this dude is. It's probably something on YouTube. They got all these bots and stuff. Podcast in the car of the Bible. But as soon as they get out the car, they forget about Jesus. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what none of that is, right? So what I'm saying is, right, while I don't give from a bad place, if I give you anything, it's from a good place because I can say no. If I say yes, I'm saying yes with good intentions. I'm also saying yes with the mindset that this may not come back, and I'm okay with that. If it's something that is being asked of me, and I know that that something can take away from something that I'm doing, especially paying my bills and taking care of my children, I don't do it. But if I do something for you, I am still taking from something else that could have been done, even though I feel like I can afford it. If that makes sense to anybody, I'm never going to give you my last. I'm never going to give you something that I'm expecting to have back before a bill is due or before something else is due, whatever. If I give, I'm not giving with the mindset that it could come back. Even if you told me, hey, let me borrow and I'll pay this back Friday. If I have a bill due Saturday, I'm just going to say no. No, I can't afford to do it. If I can't afford to do it, if I'm expecting that money to pay a bill, I'll rather not do it because I don't want whatever you got going on to cause me to lose out on whatever I have going on. So I'm not saying that whatever I said with these people, um, whatever I said with these people and how they played me, what I'm saying is I would never play people that have done for me unless they did something to me and had me change my mindset about them. Like if I've done if you've done something for me, I'm not indebted to you. But if you've done something for me and then you do something against me and I feel like the bad outweighs the good, I'm fine with releasing you from your friendly duties. You have to do that. And a lot of us see things like that, like somebody has been our friend for 15, 20 years. And they say, well, although they did a lot of funky stuff the last 3 years, we've been friends 17 years before that. No, whatever that person is lately is the person you have to deal with. So maybe they did you a favor 5 years ago, but last year they were trying to break up your home and they was trying to sleep with your spouse or they was trying to do X, Y, and Z. You have to take that recent behavior and say, this is not something that I'm willing to deal with on the journey that I'm on right now. You have to do that. If your journey is important to you, the people around you should take it as seriously as you take it. They should take it as serious as you take it. If they're not taking it as serious as you take it, then you need to get around new people. This is everything is on you. I speak all the time and I talk about accountability. If you are not holding the people around you accountable, it's probably because you're not holding yourself accountable. If you are a certain type of friend, then you should expect the friends that you have to be that same type of friend. If the people around you are not willing to do the things that you are willing to do for them, then you need to get around different people. I'm not going to tell you to change your personality. I'm going to tell you to change your crowd. If your personality is one of positivity, is one of motivation and different things like that, I'm not about to tell you you need to change and become a snob. I'm going to tell you to change the people that you are being nice to change the people that you're trying to motivate, to change the people that you are expecting to get certain energies from because they are not giving it to you and it's only going to drag you. Now, with that being said, I will go back to this comment. Okay, so Michael said he typed it wrong. Uh, thank you for reading my message. He said his roommate plays the Bible podcast in the car, but as soon as she hops out of the car, she forgets about Jesus. She So I don't know this person in particularly, right? But I'm gonna tell you what's going on. This is a person that's probably fighting with themselves. This is a person that knows that the person that's outside of the car is not the person that they really want to be. So that's why when they get in the car, they playing Jesus. It's probably not about stunting and fronting, unless they're only doing that around a certain crowd of people, right? If they're doing it around certain people, then it's a show. If they are doing this in private, then it's something that they're dealing with internally. And that's we all have different things that we deal with internally. But this particular person is dealing with this internally because they know that what I'm doing outside this car is not what I want to be. But I really need to get this together. So I need to go ahead and get this Jesus in my system. But when they get out, maybe a phone call, maybe this. So what people don't realize is this change is something that you're going to have to, when I say I take my change seriously, it's something that you're going to have to change everything, not just what you listen to, not just what you watch, not just what you read. You're going to have to change everything. And that goes to your next comment. So when you ask, how does this relate to being around family that you can't change? That's a cop out. Everything with me goes back to accountability. That's a cop out, and one of the worst cop outs. If your family is not doing what they're supposed to do, you have no reason to have to deal with them. Who told you that? Who told you that? Look at any other type of species. People get around the people that do what they're supposed to do, right? Animals get around animals that do what they're into. Just think about it. Animals get with other animals that are into the things that they're into. We're the only people that think because you were born into something that you got to stay in it. Because this person is my brother, I have to deal with them. No, you should not feel obligated to help them. Why should you feel obligated to help them? Why should you feel obligated to help anybody that doesn't help themselves? Now, if they are genuinely trying, if they are going at something, let's say you got a cousin or brother or sister that's waking up every day, going to work and just trying their hardest. They catching the bus to work. They there. They got great attendance. They are great workers. They just need a little help. And you say, man, I got this car in my yard that I'm not really using. All it needs is a battery. I'm going to get a battery and give my cousin this car because my cousin is busting his or her behind to get to the next level. And I have something that could assist them. If that's the case, then you do that, and you do that without any type of making them feel obligated to you or owing you anything. That's what I'm saying. I give with a clear heart, but that does not mean I don't take account into you treating me bad when I've done nothing to you, or if I've said no to you once or twice. If I can't tell you no, then I need to let you go. Because at the end of the day, I should be able to say no for whatever it is, unless it's something that's yours, unless I owe you. If I owe you something, then no, I can't tell you no. But if I don't owe you anything, I'm not obligated to you for anything. I'm not obligated to you for anything. I'm going to send you an invite, right? If you can copy and paste this, okay, it ain't going to let me send it to you, I don't think. If you can copy and paste that, I'll let you come on. We can talk about it. I don't feel like what I'm telling you is law. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is my law. This is how I live my life. So you can come on and we can talk about it. If you copy and paste that, it'll ask you to like type in your name and all of that, and you can come on and we can discuss it. As long as it's a respectful discussion, I'm always open for a discussion. But as I was stating, I don't feel like I'm obligated to anybody in my family. Not my mom, not my sisters, not my brother, not any. I don't feel like I'm obligated to anybody in my family. Let's bring Michael on, y'all. Okay, I just want to make sure that we can hear you. I don't know if the people can hear you.
Okay.
I think they can hear you now. They should. Yeah, you should be in the scene. So what
Yeah.
you say
Thank
now?
you for having me.
All right, I'll drop you.
Um, I just, so do you mind sort of explaining? So I asked you about, my roommate. It's kind of a hard situation because I want to reach to her, but it's not that she's a non-believer, but
Okay.
how do you reach to somebody that believes, Matthew 7 or something like that, right? Where it's like you
Hmm.
believe, but you kind of don't believe, you know?
Okay.
Because
Um.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna extrapolate real quick. I just feel
Yeah.
like, I have a job to do, right? I'm sure you feel the same way. So there's an obligation, and I almost feel like I'm failing it, and that makes me feel bad. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay. So what do you feel like is your calling? Right. What do you feel like you're failing at?
All right. So, I feel like I'm feeling that. Mm, I feel like I'm feeling that. Understanding. I think that I'm a logical person, so I feel like if I understood more, I would be able to approach more reasonably.
Okay. So what do you feel? Do you feel like that's your purpose though? I'm only asking because the only thing that you obligated to do is fulfill your purpose. So do you feel like converting this person is your purpose?
Um, I think it kind of has to be because this person is actually my mother that I don't have a good relationship with.
So you feel like it's your purpose to convert your mother to religion, or just in general to make her a better person? I'm just trying to get some clarity.
No, it's because I don't have a father, and like so uh my mother's kind of all I have, but I grew up my whole life like without having it. So like religion in general, so and her neither. And nobody was there to kind of preach it. You got to have somebody to preach it to you. And
Definitely.
s- and so I'm trying to do that for her because I'm about to leave. I'm about to go, and it feels like an obligation.
So that's something you need to deal with.
Yeah, it's definitely independent.
Yeah.
But I think it's larger than that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is back to accountability, right?
Okay,
The
okay.
reason that I'm always saying accountability is because you can't change your mother. So
All
at
right,
that
yeah,
at
and
that
that's the man. It's been eating me up, dog. It's been eating me up.
yeah, so
Cause,
you have to
cause like I
go.
said, she'll play the podcast in the car. She'll play the
Mhm.
pod, and then on the way to work, right? And then she'll get out the car to go to work. But it's like you can go to church on Sundays, but Monday through Saturday you forget about Jesus, except for Sunday. It's like, how do I encourage? You know?
You don't. I'm trying to get you to understand something. Where things are out of, even in the Bible, right? What's the prayer? The prayer, the you should pray for the understanding of this is out of my hands, and you should pray that God give her the insight to want to change. But at that,
So you're saying like for discernment
yeah, because that's a part of accountability, is taking accountability for what you can
and
be
can't
accountable
do,
for,
right?
and then
Yeah,
what you don't have accountability for is something you have to let go of. Because
but
that's, if you believe in the Bible, That's something
Mm-hmm.
that God has to deal with. And
Yeah.
so you cannot make yourself take that on. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. And now your
Yeah,
relationship,
yeah, yeah.
see what I'm
And
saying?
but and there's a part of me that thinks like that's a worthy sacrifice as a son to make his mother want to, come to God. Like that that sounds
Yeah,
like almost like a martyr kind of relationship. Like I'm
yeah.
willing to die for this.
It
Um,
is. It is. But what a lot of people do, and I don't necessarily know if anybody is familiar with what I'm doing. I do not know you, right? So we
yes,
we
sir.
don't have a
Yes, sir.
personal relationship.
Yes, sir.
So I can only speak in general, and in general, nothing is 100%. But a lot of times, people are um, that lean on the Bible. I grew up in the church. My family are they Bible thumpers, and I do believe in a lot of the things that's in the Bible. But what happens is we extract what we need when we need it, right? But we
Yes,
don't
sir.
extract it in our times of need. You see what I'm saying? So if it was something, let's say, the way that I explain that is this: you got people that's not doing well financially, and they say money is the root of all evil, but the Bible don't say that. You see what I'm saying? So they use what they need when they need it, right? But they don't know how to use the Bible in their time of need. It's a difference. So in this time of your need, the Bible is telling you that this is out of your hands, and they're telling you to give it to God. So for you to say,
Mm,
for you to say that the Bible this or the Bible that,
yeah.
you're not taking what's given to you in this time of your need. God
Okay.
God has already gave this to you. In the Bible, they've already told you
So,
that
mm,
certain things are going to be out of your hands. Give it to God. They told you
yeah.
that.
I do give it to God, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like this is my first year, summer 2025. This is my first year coming to God. I've been going hard because I've always wanted this, and but I have a lot of questions.
And that's where
So
you don't lean on your own understanding.
yes, sir.
Right.
And I've been learning. I've been learning that. Trust me, it's been a a very rude awakening, as they say. But but I've been doing better, and I really have like in terms of humility, man. It's been like a really like you think it's gonna be rough, and it's really not. When you truly give yourself, it's so gentle in comparison to this worldly affairs of heartbreak and all these things. And so I just want to know tips, tricks. I gave myself about 3 months ago,
Mhm.
and 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 you said that you've been with the Lord for many years. I just want to know like tips and tricks, that you can do. I've been reading my Bible. I've been uh praying, and I've been doing studies. Is there anything that you can let somebody know that it kind of feels like my hopes and dreams are bigger than myself, and that's a good thing to have, but um I almost feel inundated at many times, sort of like I'm being swallowed like Jonah.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself. It
Mm,
sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself,
yeah, yeah, I am.
right? Even with, I'm telling you, even with your mom, it's easier said than done. But this is something that being with God should not be heavy, right? Being in religion should not be heavy. It's something that is something there for everything. It's a it's a flavor for everything that you need. The answer is there, right? And at this point, you could ask Chat GPT for scripture to help you. You don't even have, I'm telling you, you don't even have to go searching like we did growing up. You can
Yeah,
go in there
yeah,
and say, look, this is what I'm going through. Can you
yeah.
find me a few scriptures on this title on this topic to help
I'm
me
not gonna
get
lie
through
to
this?
you, I do it already.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
And the situation with your mom, or if it was your kids or anybody else,
sure,
you
sure.
do the best you can do. And once it's out of your hands, you have to trust God. If you are not trusting God, then you are not walking in the light that you say you're walking in, because that's a part of it.
Faith
If you
without works. Yeah.
That's it. If you feel like you still have to touch everything for it to make sense, or you have to worry about it, if you see a Christian that's worried after they have putting in the work, right? After they're putting in the work that they're supposed to do, if I see a Christian that's worried, then I don't think that they're the best Christian for me to be taken example of. Because the Christians that I grew up with, they smiled even when it was hard, because they felt like God can work this out. That's what faith is. Faith is the belief that God is going to make it work. So if you feel like you have to put so much manual input into something, then it shows that you have a lack of faith.
But I wouldn't it be kind of a disagreement? Like, oh, I have a bunch of faith,
No,
cause I'm see, brother, I'm new to this, so I'm thinking like, you
I'm
know how
telling
like you go for a run for the first time, you think I push, I could run further, further, further. And so I'm wrong, is what you're saying?
you, dead wrong. So if you can smile through adversity, right? If you and I were going through the same thing, let's say you and I were in the belly of the beast, right? Let's say you and I
Right.
were in the belly of the beast together,
Yeah.
and I was in the belly of the beast. I was chilling. I'm trying to tell you, I was chilling. I'm chilling.
Okay.
I'm down
Yeah.
there. I'm chilling. My feet kicked up. You over there sweating,
Yeah.
crying, and you
Yeah.
looking at me and you saying, "Man, what are you doing?" And I'm sitting over there. I say, "Man, God got us." That's
Mm,
what that's what real faith is.
how were you yeah, man, were you like me? Like I just feel like cuz I don't have nobody that's like I try to tell people but I don't really have nobody. Did, where, how did you come to this understanding? Like did you was it a pastor or
Um, Growth. So I've always been a very optimistic person,
mm,
right?
yeah.
I've never been a very pessimistic person. And I went through so much growing up that I felt like if I can get through one thing, I know I'm gonna be all right, because I've watched it happen. I've watched me go through something and God get me out of it. Like I've watched it. Like I've been there. You see what I'm saying? I've been in situations that seemed like I wasn't gonna come out of, and God pulled me out of it.
I see what you're saying, but brother, you have to understand that like I was one of those people from the opposite direction. I've been suicidal. I've been like I've been at the gun store looking for like what's the cheapest option, you know.
But
I've
that's
been
the
like,
problem. I'm
but
telling
no,
you.
it's not
Not
nowadays.
necessarily. Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not the problem because it's beautiful because I got self harm scars on my arms,
Yeah.
and it's a cool thing because it's like people that go through that, I can show them that like, hey man, I truly know what it's like.
When I
Like
But
I
who
can
brought
show
you
you.
out of that?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I asked who brought you out of that.
Uh, you know, honest.
It's not a very Christian response. This is what I'm trying
Yeah,
to get you
it's
to
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
It
and that's
it it ain't
that.
going is no other way around it.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
is no even if your mom walked in the room when you had a gun in your mouth, God
Right.
sent her in there.
Right, yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
and yeah, I do, and you know, do you want to know the answer, man? I'll tell you right now, man. Honestly, I genuinely like nowadays. Now that I'm giving myself to Christ, I genuinely believe that you know people need understanding. There's a lot of people, man, in the world that just they're lost, man, and I was one, one of many, one of millions. And a lot of people just need somebody to say, "Hey, I understand what you're going through,"
Most
and
definitely.
I can do that, and not just that, but I can show you what it's like. And And I think that, Christ, when, he came down, he didn't have to do this, but he chose to go to the prostitutes. He chose to go to the suicidal people. He chose to go to the drug addicts. I think that a lot of churches, they kind of push back on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the church is not necessarily God. So people confuse religion with spirituality, and even to claim, I don't even claim Christian, to be honest.
Yeah, same, brother. Yeah, yeah,
So people confuse that, and it can get confusing. But I'm gonna just be 1,000% honest with you. I don't believe every single thing that's in the Bible, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
but what I do believe is that overall, my higher power, I'm not about to argue that Jesus was the Son of Man and a whole bunch of pointless stuff, because that's not what I get from the Bible. What I get from the Bible is inspiration, motivation, some guidelines about life. You see what I'm saying? So for some of the details that may have been changed over the past 2025 years or whatever years, right? If you do any research on the Bible, no scripture was written about Jesus till 100 years after his death. So, for whatever it's worth, the Bible could be somebody's great grand scheme, and they could be Shakespeare's writing or whoever. It could be some great playwright, whatever. It could be a great script that was written. The Bible could be whatever they want it to be, but that doesn't take away from the message. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I
for,
do. I
for me,
definitely do. Yeah,
for
yeah.
me, and it doesn't take away from my relationship with God and how
I
I
think.
feel about God, right? It can give you guidelines, but for you to, and that's how I feel about people. So I've watched pastors get caught
Mm.
up. We have a pastor here that's caught up in a scandal in the last 2 or 3 days. I'm from Detroit. We have a listen, one of the big pastors here just got caught up in a scandal, and some girl was saying he was messing with her when she was a
Ah,
minor
shit.
and all that stuff. I'm just being honest. What I'm trying to
It's
say is it that does nothing for my relationship with God, right?
got right. Of
You see
course,
what I'm
of course,
saying?
of course.
Because
Yeah.
my faith is not in man. So
Nah, of
for
course,
for
of
for
course.
that
Yeah.
man to be caught up in a scandal, it does nothing for me. It
It's
does nothing.
actually a blessing when you think about it.
I ain't gonna say it's a blessing. I'm just
Well,
saying
it's a
that
blessing for people. If wrong is called wrong, that's a blessing because most people will
that's that.
follow that. Most people will follow that. You know what it's like for
Yeah.
wrong pastors.
And I'm gonna tell you what was crazy. They still gonna follow it.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean,
it's
and,
gonna be
and
what
not
it's
just
gonna
that,
be.
it's gonna get worse as well.
It's
So,
gonna be what it's gonna be. So that's why people gotta
man,
understand that a pastor or a church and all that, it's just a conduit.
man. So how do you? So you go to church on Sundays?
No, I ain't been to church. Well, I'm lying. I've been to church recently. So I don't go to church regularly. That's what I'm saying. My
Oh
relationship.
wow,
I grew up
wow.
in it.
Hey man.
I grew up in a church, but I don't go to church regularly. I go to church when I'm invited. I got a couple friends. One of my best friends is a pastor. So I do go to church, but I don't go to a church regularly.
Why? So I want to know why you don't. You choose not to, yeah?
Yeah, it's like I'm explaining to you, right? So I've seen it where it's a bunch of BS. I've seen it where, church people gossip and talk bad and do different things, and that doesn't bother me. I'm just being honest with you. That doesn't bother me.
Sure.
Whatever
But,
people do is people. That has nothing to do
mm,
with my relationship with God and how I feel about God or Jesus or
but how do you? But, and with all due respect, of course, sir, because I deeply thank you for this conversation. But what do you? How do you feel about the communion? Right, like you're supposed to, uh, eat the bread of
oh
Christ.
man, I'm not listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
All of that is whatever you make it, man. It has no, I'm trying to explain to you, brother.
Brother,
It-
I'm gonna be
listen,
honest with you, brother. That did not that,
I was about
that
listen, man. All of the stuff like that, because you got churches that don't believe in that. So
no, but
it's just
I can.
all what
So,
you make it.
so can you? Do you mind if I tell you what I do?
Yeah, that's fine.
So in my church, it's really just about like they pick a part from the Bible, and like we preach it, whatever, and then we split the bread of Christ, and everybody communes. and they take part, and it's the bread and the blood, and of course the bread and the wine, and they take part in that. And it's just like, of course it's metaphorical, right? It's not like you're literally taking part, but you kind of are, because everybody is in communion, everybody's doing the same thing, they're all in agreement that I love my God, I am here, I don't have to be here, I choose to be here, and I don't have to eat this, but I choose to,
Hmm.
and I don't have to drink this, but I do, and
Hmm.
it's a simple dip, so I just want to know. It almost sounds like you're against it. Is
No,
that true, brother?
no, not
And
not
I'm
at all.
coming.
Nope, I'm not against it at all. If
Okay,
you,
okay. I'm
no,
coming with complete.
yeah,
I'm not judging you at all, brother.
you can't judge me. If you like it, I love it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you to understand.
Nah, I
Yeah,
get
I'm
you. I
trying.
get you. I
Yeah,
get
well,
you.
yeah,
I
whatever.
already. It's. I already know. I
You
already
see what
know.
I'm saying? If
Yeah,
you
I
like
do
it,
know
I
what you're
love it.
saying,
Yeah. If that makes you feel closer to God, I'm
no,
all for it. I will
but.
come to your church and break bread with you and drink the
Mm,
juice. I'm telling you how I feel. If that make
yeah,
you feel better, I'm good with it. Whatever makes you feel complete and whole, and I'm telling you, I'm all for it.
but there,
But
you agree. I would just say, brother, you agree. There's a distance between earth and heaven.
it could be.
No, there's a distance between Earth and heaven.
It
Statistical fact.
it could be. Who's to say?
No,
No, no. Who's to say heaven is a real place?
you don't think heaven
No,
is a real place
no,
right
no,
now?
no, no, no. Listen to what I'm saying. I didn't say that it was or wasn't. I said who's to say. This is what I'm telling you. Whatever the belief is that gives you the faith
John 14.
is fine with me.
John 14, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, they describe it. It's so listen, the Bible is so metaphorical, right? So you see
Man,
what I'm saying? Even
yeah,
to say that
I
somebody
hear
walked
you.
on water, even to say that, I'm just saying, who's to say? It could be a metaphor. Heaven could be a metaphor. Heaven could be a place of peace where hell could be a place of torment and just in general,
You
uh
can say that about anything, though. I
you,
mean,
you see
well,
what I'm saying?
no,
Heaven could be, it
no, sir.
could be. I'm not
To be,
saying it is. I ain't been there. I never died. I never
to be,
died.
no, to be honest, brother. I will be very honest with you. I don't see what you're saying.
That's fine.
No,
I'm,
no, I know that's fine, but obviously that's fine. I'm just saying,
yeah.
like, but would you mind having a discussion about that?
It could be. So let's talk about heaven, right?
Yeah,
Let's talk
let's talk
about
about. Yes, sir.
let's
Yes, sir.
talk about the distinction,
Yeah.
right? Let's talk
Okay.
about the distinction
Because
between
I'm curious, like, why I just wonder why you say it like that.
yeah, because it's a distinction between heaven and hell. When they
Yes,
talk
sir.
about heaven and how beautiful heaven is and the streets are paved with gold and this and that, and they talk about hell where oh my God, it's fire all day. What is more torment than being burned all day?
Yeah, I mean, of course, but
So
that doesn't really prove your point. I just want
no, no,
to
no,
know
no, no.
what you.
Nothing can prove my point because it's you don't know. That's my point. It's no point to prove.
Uh,
It's literally no point to prove because you don't know. But why waste time trying to figure it out when the point is just to be at peace?
what? I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I can talk about what I'm getting at. I mean, literally, the new heaven becomes the new earth because it becomes conjoined. Yeah.
Because
So
because of what?
well, he takes the heaven, which of course is spiritual, right? And earth, which is of course physical, and he combines and he makes them both to glorified bodies, so which is of course physical, and then he makes everything remembrance of the mind, right? Everything will be renewed uh, of the mind. So one becomes two. Did I say that right, or does that make sense?
It makes sense, but what I'm asking you is, do it really make sense? Does walk
Absolutely.
does walking on water make sense? Let's just go with certain things like that. Does walking on water make sense? Have you seen somebody physically walk on water?
This is this is kind of like.
It's
taking out of context,
it's
brother.
not. I'm just asking. I'm not taking it out of.
There's only one person that can do that. I mean, so of course I've never seen nobody that do that.
Who told you they could do it?
John.
Now, do your research. These people were not around when Jesus were around.
So
I'm
nobody witnessed. You're telling me
I'm
nobody
telling
witnessed.
you. I'm telling you I've done the research.
So
I,
you're telling me, brother, you're telling me nobody witnessed Jesus walk on water?
nobody nobody that wrote about Jesus were alive when Jesus was alive. Is what I'm telling you.
Wait, nobody was alive when Jesus was alive? What are you
No,
talking
no, no, no,
about?
no. I said nobody whose writings are in the Bible was alive when Jesus was alive.
Nobody's. You're gonna have to say it so, cause I'll be honest, brother.
I'm not, I love the
I'm
Bible,
trying to
bro.
help you.
I'm trying to
You
explain to you.
yeah,
Nobody, listen,
you're trying very hard,
I'm
bro.
not, I'm
I'm
not,
trying.
what I'm
You
not.
saying
I,
some.
I'm telling you how this
Be
is, bro.
respectful, bro.
I'm being respectful and I'm telling you, nobody whose writings are in the Bible was alive to see Jesus walk on water.
You
Nothing
know,
was written about Jesus until after 100 years after he died. So
dude, you
no,
could. Hey, man, you need to read Paul, bro. You need to read Paul, man. 63% of the New Testament is written by Paul, and
okay,
you're telling me nobody knows. We can have a honest discussion, brother. It's not about me being right. It's not about you being wrong. It's not about that, brother. But you're wrong, man. It's okay, cause I'm often wrong too.
I'm not wrong though.
So you're disagreeing with me in what I just said?
No,
Cause
I'm not disagreeing.
brother, I'm saying, man, with all due respect, sir, cause I've been loving this conversation. You've been helping me, man.
Okay,
But
so
yes,
look,
sir. Yep.
just look it up. I'm telling you that these people, listen, just look it up. What Matthew is thought to be the earliest writing of Jesus, and it was at least 50 to 60 years after his death that
I
Matthew was.
already know. I already know that, brother. What are you trying to say?
I'm telling you that these people didn't see him walk on water. The people that's writing it,
Yeah, but they saw him resurrected after 3 days, right?
they didn't see him resurrected after 3 days.
They did not see him resurrected after 3 days. Mary included, right? Go ahead and say it.
They didn't. I'm sorry, brother. I'm just telling you that this is what I'm trying to explain to you about the Bible. I
Because
love
cause
the
you,
Bible.
cause you, cause you go to Google, and Google
No,
will
no, no,
tell
no, no,
you.
no, no. Because I wrote, no, no, no. Because I did further research, and Google wasn't a part of the research.
But you're
Um,
pulling up Google to talk to me.
because I'm telling you
Cause
that
you're telling me that that Jesus wasn't raised after 3 days, brother.
what I'm telling you is I'm not saying that he was or wasn't. I wasn't there, but I'm telling you they weren't
You
either.
wasn't there, bro. How many thousand? You know. By the
I'm
way,
they weren't either. I'm just telling you they weren't there either.
they weren't there for the raising of
No,
Jesus. Is what you're
not the
saying?
not the people that wrote about it. That's all I'm
Not,
telling you. The people that
okay.
wrote about
I
it
want,
weren't they weren't there.
I want to know. Do you even know about Longinus?
Listen, I hate to have this conversation with you because it
No,
sounds
let's
like
do it.
no,
Let's
because
do it.
it sounds like you really found something in this Bible, but
No, no, it sounds to me like you don't. If it wasn't for me in this chat, you wouldn't even have a conversation with nobody in the first place. I'm the only one talking to you, dog.
I don't care. I was gonna talk to myself.
You were,
I do it regularly.
and you weren't gonna make a difference in doing so. So I'm asking you, man, like man to man, if you really are a child of God, bro,
I
yeah,
am. I
And yes,
am.
sir, and so that's why I do not disrespect you, sir. So if it comes off that way, I do apologize. I'm not trying to come off that way, but you can understand that I am fierce about my father. You understand?
As you should be.
Exactly. So so let's relax a little bit, take a deep breath, and realize we're both trying to say the same thing in different ways. Yes.
We not.
We not.
No, I'm telling you that the Bible is what the Bible is.
Man,
It's a well written, well put together book.
Romans 10:9. Tell me, what does that say?
I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's see what
Now,
Romans
I
10
don't need.
is.
If you confess with your tongue that Jesus is Lord, and if you believe with your heart that
Mhm.
God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. I don't. We don't need to look that up, brother. I can tell you right now. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bible, that's cool. That's what the
Yes.
Bible tell you.
No. That's exactly what the Word of God tells me. You talking about pull it up. Pull up what Romans 3. Everybody knows Romans 10:9. Do you know Romans 3:10?
Read it to me.
All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God.
Amen.
Amen, brother. But how do you not know that? That's a very common understanding. If you
I
don't know
love it.
that, I mean, I
I
really
love it.
wonder if you don't know that, do you really know God?
Mm. Amen.
What? Give me a verse right now that you do know without looking it up.
Amen.
Give me a verse.
John 3:16.
Okay. Besides that, man, 300 million people know that, right? Come
Yeah.
on, brother.
Listen what I'm telling you, man. If I don't, this my thing,
Besides,
bro.
give me
As I
something else.
stated, as I stated at the beginning,
Do
man,
you know anything besides John
if,
3:16?
if you like it, I love it.
No, it's not
I don't
about
gotta
me.
do that.
It's
I
not
don't.
about me, brother. It's not about me.
If you like it, I love it. That's
No,
no
it's
matter
not
what.
about me. It's
That's
not
how
about
I'm a
me. It's
that's
not
how
about
I'ma
me.
feel.
And I'll tell you what, it's not about me and it's not about you.
It's about God, right?
Yes, sir.
So this all I'm asking you. So if it's about God, then the Bible is the only way to get to God, correct?
Relationship.
I'm just asking. If that's the
You
only
know,
way to get
yeah,
to God.
yeah. I mean, Bible is the way, the like physical way, but overall, it's faith without works. It's of course like relationship. Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's technically your mode of transportation. So we still saying you need gas, but technically the Bible is your mode of transportation to God.
Uh,
I'm just making it clear. I'm just asking.
it will always be my mode of transportation. Yes, sir.
And I love it.
Yeah,
I have friends that feel that way about the Quran, and I love it.
yeah, yeah.
I- I'm saying I
Definitely.
love it. However you get to God and it make you feel at peace. I'm telling you, I love it. I'm never trying to argue you out of your religion. I
Out of
really
God, right? Because it all,
it's not me being funny. This how I feel. I'm
yeah,
just being honest.
it all goes back to God.
That's all
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying.
I believe the same.
That's all I'm saying. Whatever your road to that, man, it's fine. I don't want to make you feel like that I'm dogging the Bible. I still believe in the Bible. Like the things in the Bible, like I'm saying, I'm not trying to dog the Bible. I'm just saying I've done research outside the Bible that gives me a decent understanding of the Bible, not the all of the details in the Bible, but how the Bible got into be what it is today. It's a lot went on. A lot went on. And I'm telling you, I'm okay with that. And I'm still like, I love the Bible. I love
Of
you for
course.
loving the Bible. That what I'm saying
Yes,
is
sir. Yes,
this
sir.
is the
And
person that God made me. Like I because of my experiences with life. You see what I'm saying?
yes, sir. I do. and I love you so much for having this conversation with me, man. Because I, of course, it can get heated, but the point is man to man, of course we can have this conversation and respect each other. And I think that's what that's what a lot of the world is missing. Everybody wants to pick sides. Thank you so much, man, for just first off, even I sent you a message, and you even listened, and
Most definitely.
encouraged me to come on conversation with you. I appreciate it because not only am I able to make my vocalization, but I'm able to do it publicly with you for anybody else that might hear it. And I thank you so much for that because I think that, even if man to man, we probably have so many disagreements, man. But I think like what a lot of people don't understand is that when you think about it, we really have more in common.
Definitely. And that's how
Definitely.
most of the religions are.
Yes,
You see
sir.
what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
Yep. Yep.
Everything is so separate, but it's like, why keep arguing about it? We all
Yep.
trying to get to the same place. That's the only point I was making. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm saying I grew up with the Bible, but I have friends that grew up in the Quran or the Quran,
Yeah.
depending on what you see what I'm saying. I
Yes, sir.
don't never whatever makes them whole and make them feel like they close to God, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
You
As
see what
long
I'm
as
saying?
you praise God, you got to praise God.
That's it. Whatever,
That's
and,
it.
and you got people. Everybody take different routes, but it's
Yeah.
okay. We all trying to get to the same place, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Hey, man, thank you so much for this conversation, bro.
Definitely. And see how you was like, and this good too for you, even though, you know, like you said, this could have went left. I feel like this is good for you because you being a new Christian, I don't never want you to feel like that's the only way. I don't never want, you
Mhm.
see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I
Yes,
always
sir.
want you to be like, look, this is my journey, right?
Yeah.
But somebody else have a different journey, and you gotta let them have their journey, and it takes nothing away from your journey. You see what I'm
So
saying?
you said you read, of course, like you read the Bible, but you also read like the Quran as well and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not as versed with the Quran and stuff because I grew up in the church, so I understand the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You know,
But you wanted to be open minded to God because God is a mystery, yeah?
God is
So,
a mystery, and you don't ever want to hear one side of anybody's
yes, sir.
story, but
So,
it can confuse you, right? Because
yeah,
you don't
so
want to
you
go
have
over
to
there.
have like, you have to have the ability to think critically for yourself.
That's it. So when I had this conversation, it didn't last this long, right? I got
All
a
right.
brother. Me and my brother got the same exact name, bro. My name is Alvin. Swear to God, I'm Alvin C. Hill the fourth. He Alvin C. Hill the third, right? And
All
my
right.
brother, when I started doing the research on the Bible, I just basically asked my brother. I said, "Well, have you done any research on the Bible?" Well, the Bible
Mm-hmm.
said he just constantly the Bible said me, and I said, "But have you done research on the Bible, like how the book was, you know, written and gotten to us, right? Just do
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
what." And you will say, "Okay, this is this, right?" And I still, even though I'm not like, "Oh my God, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus," I still consider myself a Christian if asked what religion I am. You see, it's
Mhm.
weird because that's what I'm
Yeah.
raised at. And
It
when
is
I
good.
my
Yeah.
Bible is my religious text, right?
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? But I
Yes, sir.
understand that this went through a lot of transformations to get here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
I
sir.
just understand that. So I'm not like everything in there is, the truth, the critical that I don't feel like because it's been tampered with. You see what I'm saying?
Obligated, I think.
So
Yeah.
so so I do believe that this is a great set of guidelines. And if I'm asked about religious texts, if I walked in somewhere and they said, what do you want, for your religious text, I'm gonna say I need a Bible.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah,
trying to be funny about it. It's just that's the way
I
that
got you.
yeah, and my relationship with God, if you anybody around me, they all when people ask me how you doing, I say I'm super blessed. God really, you
Of
know what I'm
course.
saying?
Of course. Thank you,
God
God,
did this
for the
for me.
good. Thank you, God, for the bad.
I'm one of those people every day in and day out, man. One day somebody asked me and I said something. I said, "Man, this guy getting on my nerve." He said, "That's not like you, man. You usually say God this." I'm telling you how I am, bro.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
but all of that made me this. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yes,
Me
sir.
me doing the back history, me doing everything, it made me this. It made me
You-
this calm. It made me this. You see what I'm saying?
You're at.
Everybody journey is different because
And that's and oh yeah, man, for sure.
certain
I've been
things left me confused. That's why I
yeah.
did the research. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
sir. I
certain
do.
yeah,
Yeah,
certain
I
things
do.
that make you like, well, if this, then why this? If this, then I do the research and say, okay, now it's clear that certain things were not put in the Bible. Certain things, like it's even if you look at some of that, I'm telling you, it's certain things that they took out of the Bible because it didn't fit the context or the story that they wanted to tell.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
it's
saying?
kind yes, sir. Yeah, it's kind of like a individualized agenda for a lot of people, but
But
um
it's okay. I'm trying to I always want to go back there, right, Michael? It's okay. Long as you understand that, then it shouldn't take away from what's giving you the faith. You see what I'm saying? It
yeah,
shouldn't take that's all I'm saying. Once you take it as what it is, like when we talk, let's go back to heaven and hell. I'm the only thing that I said, I didn't say that heaven or hell didn't exist. What I'm asking you is how do we know that is so the book is so conceptual, right?
yeah, yeah,
How do we not know that it wasn't written in a context of right? Let's say with you going through the depression you spoke of, that's hell, right? That's hell to
yeah,
feel like
yeah, yeah.
that. So right with me
Worse
being
than hell.
that's what I'm trying to explain to you. How do we not know that them saying if you don't take God as your, Jesus as your savior, that the hell is this?
But
It's just conceptualized as this fire.
yeah,
How don't we? I'm just saying how. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying with it being so, you know what I'm saying, with the Bible being written so well, and it being so metaphorical in places, right? How don't we know that?
well, there's always gonna be mysteries, but I think, as far as all I can really speak of is for me, man.
Yeah,
And like I would just say that like, it was it's funny because like I grew up, man, and I was thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, it's such a curse. Everything's a curse. And I grew up and of course like I tried, keep trying, give myself to God, give myself to God. Man, those cursings, man, it's funny how those cursings will turn to blessings. Man, I am so blessed. I'm so blessed
you feel what I'm
because
saying? It's a
man,
mental thing, bro.
I've got things that like, yeah, people judge me, dude, I've gone through it. Yeah, I don't want to go into it, but I'm just saying I'm going. I know what that life is like, bro. But like, that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing because those people that have also been, that way, I can talk to them, and it's hard, to talk to somebody that's, oh, if you scrape your knee and you've never had a scrape on your knee, well, how do you relate to that person? It's difficult, but when you do, oh, I've been there. And so it's such a bit. I've been thanking God so much. Thank you so much. I say thank you, God, for the good. Thank you, God, for the bad. Yeah. And that's, Job. That's Jeremiah. Jeremiah, man. I love, or even Jonah, right? Jonah,
Mhm.
God spoke to Jonah. He was like, hey, man, you need to go to this city. And he was like, no, I think I'll run away. And that's us, man. How many times every day God talks to us and we just run away because we're so scared. So it's like, man, I've been really asking God for discernment. I've been asking Him for humility, and I had like a thing, a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago that like brought me down, man, uh, in a beautiful way because it crushed me as a man, but it brought me closer to God. And so,
and I love it.
yeah, yeah,
I love it. So I got to get out of here.
yes,
I
sir.
really enjoyed this conversation. It's
Oh,
not
for
even
sure. And thank you so much, sir.
yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on. Like you said, I would have been over here talking to myself. I'd have been off about an hour ago too, but I do this, and I said it at the beginning of the live. I do this to make these clips, like these reels. The reels do better than the lives. It's just
Okay.
the way that the
Do you
algorithm.
not have a lot of reception?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna subscribe to you. I'll be in chat, bro.
My guy, man. I appreciate you, brother, and everybody else that tapped in and out as they came in and out. This will be like clipped up, like you will see it. It's like these little clips that I do, and those do better than the lives. The lives be a little funky. It be here and there, but you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down, man.
Thank you, brother. Have a good day.
You too.